Of a theme arising, I think. My name's John Wright, and I'm speaking on behalf of the team, as you know. And the objective, the problem is, we think that we can solve is to provide a tool that will allow UKTI to provide a better focused support for businesses, especially micro businesses and SMEs. Why bother? Because then it'll ensure the UKTI can provide really targeted advice, not a shotgun approach. Some of what we've listened to is, in some regions, it's, without being unkind, a bit of a phone book job. Oh, you can go to this accountant and he's as much use as a chocolate fireguard. And we've talked about how that can be improved. Also, this tool that Joe's going to talk about in a second is to share successes and failures to help ensure mistakes made in business in one region or at one time are not replicated, and to point out, and also that successes can be replicated, and to point out pitfalls and lessons learned, etc. How? Well, my colleague Joe will explain how the database, and that's what we've come up with, how the database will actually work. And we did that as a complete team, and then during that time, the mentoring broke off as deserving of its own sector, but it fits very much with what we're about to say. So I'm going to hand over to Joe. Okay. And I'll come back in a minute. This is how it works.
Okay, folks, what we start to think about was, UKTI is doing currently a great job. What it perhaps needs are the tools to let it deliver what it needs by 2020. So we sort of thought, is there anything which could be created reasonably quickly? And we came up with a solution which is a combination of database and artificial intelligence wrapped in the usual web portal, which everyone is probably aware of. The interesting thing that's happened while we've been developing this is that listening to everyone in the other groups, there are elements which match very nicely. The mentoring is really useful. The idea of having validated branding is a great add-on. The concept, for example, of using a system like this to help with distributors and agents.
Joe, watch our time. If you
and that validation.
Walk us through the model, as we'll get there.
One of the things about walking through models is essentially that the walkthrough can be done very, very quickly indeed. If you imagine you've got potential exporters, potential people resources like the mentors and others, and you've got geopolitical data from the regions that you may want to export into. These people come in through a portal, put in the data that they want, and the system basically looks at that data and comes up with matches. So it's a bit like speed dating. You can match an exporter to a region, to a product, to a set of mentors. Once that's done, the advice can be sent out via email. I hesitate to send out via tweets, but it can go to that person, to that company, to UKTI, so everybody's in the same loop. And the end result then is that these people can decide whether to progress. If they progress, we would expect results to be fed into the system. The results would be crunched in a data warehouse to provide information on how successful the activity's been. This can all be done by, we think, March next year. And it's something that, our company would certainly be keen on putting some support into.
One of the drawbacks might be that it would lose its relevance. So the antidote to the database losing relevance or not being updated, etc., is a little thing the TripAdvisor equivalent, so that it was constantly updated and also updated with TripAdvisor user feedback, so that it would never fall into, oh God, forget that useless, pathetic object, because once you get to that point, you're screwed. The other thing is, as an adjunct, and it's in here, is to have a bit of a filter of companies coming through UKTI, a sort of Dragon's Den committee for SMEs coming through, so that they also are more targeted. So, not being unkind, the people who are no-hopers and bless their cotton socks dreaming about things that they're not capable of go through a Dragon's Den type thing, so they don't even arrive at this place unless they've been through that process. Although one of my colleagues on the team said it's no good if there's a single man or woman on the team who can veto you, because there's been an experience in the team where an SME had to come back 3 times, and actually their idea was great, but this particular individual had binned them. So there you are. And we didn't use Lego. I'm really sorry we didn't.
It's a virtual system, you don't need Lego.
Yes, you're the man.
Virtual Lego, thank you, yes.
Right, okay, we're down to the final one, which is UKTI.